In the last episode, we checked the CSV, JSON, and the Parquet files, but that's perfect for the batch streaming. How about the real-time data processing? For the real-time data processing in Spark, we use a structured streaming, which is the Spark's high-level API for the real-time pipelines. But what's the structured streaming in a nutshell? Structured streaming is like working with the continuous data frames instead of the static data set. So what we do is we get an unbounded table that updates as the new data arrives. So we can apply transformations such as select, filter, group by to the streaming data, and the Spark will handle that under the hood using the micro batches. So for our example, right, let's go to our example, see what we are going to review today. So in our case, what we are doing is we are still reading from the CSV file, but we are reading from the CSV file under certain path. So for example, in this case, the first thing that what we do is we are creating the schema explicitly. The reason is because in the structured streaming, inferred schema is not supported. That's why we are defining our schema explicitly here. So we have two JSON files, the one that we have used in the previous, and also I created another one. It's just the exact copy of the first one, but for the product name, I just added one to distinguish that it's a separate file. So what we are doing here, first we are creating a schema, then we are creating a data frame as we are reading that as a stream, right? So we are reading as a stream, and we have a simple transformation. In our case, it's just that we are selecting the product name and the category. And after that, so what we are doing, right? So we are writing the output to the console. So for that, we are defining the format as a console output mode append, which means that if the new file arrives, we will just show the result, we will just show the content of the new file, not the whole. And then we are starting the streaming and waiting for the termination. So let's start it. So what we have here, right? So under the stream data, I have only one file, products file, and let's go and see that it's. So let's go and see that our file, so as you can see here, we receive the first batch here, right? We receive the batch 0, and here we have selected in the real time, we have selected product and the category here. And now let's do following, right? Let's now copy so let's say that we are adding the files in the real time, and let's mimic that. And what we are going to do is we are going to just copy our product one, so which means a new file into our stream data file, right? So we are going to copy that here, and as so we can see here, it will in the real time we are going to receive that, right? So now we are receiving batch 1, and in the batch 1 we have our new file here. So we have the content of our new file, which is the product one. Let's move that back, and let's stop it, and let's go see another examples. That's just a basic simple case, right? Let's go see another case, which is that again we are doing the exactly same thing, but in this case we are going to do a more sophisticated transformation, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to take only the products that are where the stock is more than 30, and let's just put it 100 or 100, and we are going to group them by not the age and the count, but we are going to group them by the category here, right? So we are going to group them by the category, and so what we are going to, again, we are putting that, we are showing that in the console, the result, and the output here is the complete. So what's that mean? It means that, for example, let's say that the first one we received, right, and we are taking only the products that are more than 100, where the stock is more than 100, and we are grouping them by the category. And when we are receiving the second one, instead of showing the new result, right, so we are going to combine the result of the first and the second one, right? That's the advantage of the Spark. So let's run it, and let's see that how exactly it works. So we have only one file here, right? So first one, it already produced us the result for the first. So let's run this one actually from here. It's still running the previous one. Let's stop it, and let's run a new pipeline. So here it will, the batch 0, right? The first one will produce us only the result of the first file. So let's go and see that. Okay, so the first one, right? The result of the first file, the batch 0, it only, what it did, it filtered only those products that are in stock more than 100, and it grouped them by the category, right? So we have the 2 electronics, we have the 2 furniture, and the 1 appliances. And now let's go and copy the second file here, right? So we are copying the second file, and in the real time, it will aggregate the result for the first and the second table. So now let's go and see that when the second one is computed, it should be here. And so as you can see here, right, that was previous one was batch 0, and now is batch 1, and the result is doubled because we have 2 files, and we asked explicitly here to complete for the output mode, which means that the full aggregation. So this is for the simple transformation, and now let's go to another example where we are writing the result to the file, right? So let's say that we are receiving in the real time, and also we are writing the result to the file. So for that, this part is exactly the same. So again, we are reading from the same file, and we can actually copy that. We can actually again move that here. For this example, right? So what we do here, right? So we are outputting the format as so we are saving the format in Parquet, and for the path we are using the output stream Parquet, and also we are using the checkpoint location. What's the checkpoint? Checkpoint we are doing, let's say that if our pipeline is crashed, next time when it will start from the checkpoint. That's used for the exactly one semantic. Otherwise the data might be processed twice. So let's run it. Let's actually first, instead of saving in the Parquet, let's save in the CSV and see that it exactly works as we expected it to work. And for that, for in the CSV, and now let's start our pipeline and see that it will saved under the file of output and the stream Parquet, right? So let's go and see that. So it's still not there. Let's update it. And as you can see here, we have update, we have result for the checkpoint, but most importantly, we have the result of our CSV. So whatever it read, right, file, then it wrote the result to the CSV. And now let's copy our another CSV to the stream data and see that it also will be copied here. Again, let's update it. As you can see here, another file has also arrived with the exactly one that we wanted to see. And here what we can do is let's stop it and let's remove this one, and let's, instead of the CSV, let's save the file format in the Parquet, right? So let's save file format in Parquet, and it will be, let's see that it works as expected. Again, let's reload. So as you can see here, we have now we have the result in the Parquet. Okay, so let's sum up that what we have learned today. So what we have learned that, let's first stop it. And what we have learned that is structured streaming lets us treat the live data as tables. So we can read the data from the CSV, JSON. Actually, we can read that from any data source, but usually in the real-time data processing, where we read that from the Kafka and or other streaming platforms. So after that, what we can do also with the streaming, structured streaming, right? We can apply transformation just like for the batch data frames. So we can output the data, we can output the result. In our case, we output that into the console for the visibility, but what we can do the same to the files as we have seen in the last example, but it can be also database or any other data source. Also is a data structured streaming that makes Spark powerful for the real-time analytics. So What it means is, let's say we are receiving the data in the real time and we want to see that in the dashboard changes in the sales or for different purposes. So Spark is a powerful tool for that.